guys, it's me. I wanted to show you a really easy stitch. I call it my ladder stitch, and it's fun just for scarves or whatever the case. You can even do baby blankets out of this, but I call it the ladder stitch because it looks like a ladder when you're doing it. But I'm going to cast on a chain of 10. I'm going to make sure the chain is loosey-goosey so that we can work in the chain much easier. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you start here because we're already in the first spot. We're going to start here. We're going to do a double crochet into that spot. And sorry about that. Back out. We're going to just do a double crochet into each bump on this braid. So this is the next opening. And then we're going to do a double crochet. Next opening is here. You kind of have to keep track of what you're doing so it makes sense. Next opening is here. You're just working in your chain. Next opening is here. Next opening is here. So you just do a double crochet in each one of those spaces, what I call on the braid. So you're basically making a ladder pattern. You have 2 more, so you do 1. And now we're going to go into the last spot here. The last bump on the braid. Let's see, that is it. So now you have what looks like a ladder. Chain on the end, turn your work. Now instead of working into this chain, you're going to work into the spaces between each post of that double crochet. So don't touch this. We're going to go into these spaces here. And you're just going to do double crochets into this area here. So they end up looking kind of like ladders. This is the next space below the chain. Next space below that chain. Next space below that chain. Next space below that chain. Sorry about that. Back it out because we all know double crochet. Right here is another space. Right there. And then the next space is this one, little one down here. So cast on 1. Turn your work and keep going. So you're working into the, not the chain, you're working into these areas between the double crochet posts. So you just go into each space. And I'll show you what to do at the end because the end can be kind of tricky when there's not a hole at the end, but you have a area where it looks kind of chunky at the end. So I'll just continue to go between the posts. This is the next area below the chain. And then you keep going. Next area. It's easy to do this because you're just looking for the spaces between those double crochet posts. Here's another one below the chain. Next space, right here. Okay, next space is here. Oops. Now, you see it's not even here, but you can go in anywhere you want into this area. So you'll stick it in this area, pull it through once, and then do your double crochet at the end. And then you'll cast on one more and you'll turn the work around. So as you can see, here's the chain, spaces between, you know, the double crochet posts. You have this one on the end, there's a hole here too, but that's what I wanted to show you. I think this is kind of a neat little pattern. It's really actually kind of easy once you get used to it. Just remember you're working between the double crochet posts and not actually in the chain. So that's what I did. I'm going to work in the next area here, not the chain, but the hole between the double crochet posts. So it's pretty simple. We're going to go in here next. And then another thing you can do, you can always change your pattern up if you want. You can work in that chain if you want to. I'll just finish the work that I've started. This is another double crochet. We have a space here. We're going to go into that space. Okay. We have to go, we'll go into this last space here because you don't want it to be uneven. So you find a space or an opening at the end. Okay. And now you're going to do cast on one. And then you can decide to continue to go under the chain into these spaces here. Or you can always just go into your chain. You know, like do a double crochet into the chain. You can always do a single crochet into the chain, just the chain portion if you want to. So, I mean, I've never really done it that way. You know, you can do anything you want with crocheting, really. You can go into the bumps and the lumps. You can go into the spaces like I was showing you for the ladder. You can go single crochet into the chain. And I like to use colored yarn because the colors come out so pretty. And now I'm just working into that chain. Sorry about that. And this is going to be the last one on the chain that I'm going to go through. So you can see how the pattern has changed slightly. But then if you want, you can continue to, you know, I think I did an additional stitch on the end, but then you can do double crochets in each one of these areas, you know, because you don't want to come down too far. But, you know, if I wanted to do a double crochet into that area, I could, and continue the work from there and make my ladder again. So it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. A lot of it is really just soothing and helps to alleviate stress, anxiety, take your mind off things. I don't know. It's just one of those things that helps if you want to ignore someone that you're living with or in the same room with or you're married to, or your kids. You need a break from your kids. I don't know. It's just once you get the hang of it, you actually can teach yourself almost anything and make up your own patterns. And once you have the basics down, easy peasy. Let's see, sometimes you have to back out because sometimes you catch the yarn. Unintentionally catch the yarn when you're pulling it through. See, I'm catching something here. So if that happens, you can straighten it out. Make sure you're not catching something. Oops. But either way, sometimes you catch string. You have to find out what kind of string you're catching onto. You don't want to ever tear your string. Oh, that would be just a pain. But see, then you chain one on the end, always chain one on the end. That's what I do. But as you can see, I'm doing my ladder and then I did a single crochet. And then I did the ladder again by doing double crochets into each space. So I just wanted to teach you that. Thought it would be neat. Like again, you can work into the chain, or you can do the double crochet stitches below the chain between the posts. So that's the fun thing about crochet, is you can do anything you want and have it just look so beautiful. And I don't know, I think people really love handmade gifts and things like that. So I hope this helps. Just remember, never leave it uneven on the end. You can always catch an additional stitch on the end and then continue to work so that your work is straight. So anyways, I hope that was fun learning. I hope you guys come back, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.